All right, so I'm just, I pay attention to stuff, and things are definitely getting interesting. They still have not counted the remainder of the votes in Arizona. They still have not counted the remainder of the votes in Arizona. It's just in La La Land. And I'm guessing it's because they know Kari Lake's got the votes. How do we get more Katie Hobbs votes in here? Who knows? Because it ain't looking too good for Katie Hobbs. Again, Ezra's Telegram. Red X, Katie Hobbs. When I saw that, I said, I don't care what you're being shown right now. I don't think she's going to be in there as governor. Yeah, but they said she's already got the majority, and even the 18,000 votes left, wouldn't matter anyway. Okay. Keep telling yourself that. Then we have this interesting Supreme Court case. Now that guy Juan O'Savin, he's talking about it. The one I was just talking about. How strange it is that these two pro se litigants got their case on the docket. The defense didn't respond. It's moving forward to the next step and all that. And yeah, probably a coincidence. And Tori says, Entheos told us long ago, follow this chick, follow her. And when he gives advice, you take it. They. Entheos' pronouns are they, because he said it was a group. They said follow Tori Morris, or Tori Says, as she called herself initially. She has said, not too long ago, and I couldn't tell you when she started saying it because I don't catch all of her stuff, because maybe she started before I'm about to say this, but nonetheless, at least 2-3 months ago, I don't know. About watching Brazil in their election, and she basically said, how goes Brazil, goes America. Something like that. Not in those words, but watch the election, how it gets handled in Brazil and how things go there, because that's what's going to happen here in USA land. So today, I see this news article, which was actually posted last night, from revolver.news. If you want a site that you really want to get news from, go to revolver.news. Breaking report, the Brazilian military stands with Bolsonaro and is prepared to invoke Article 142. Bolsonaro is the guy that is essentially the good guy. And the people of Brazil said, no, there's not a chance in hell this, or it was Lulu or whatever the guy's name is. We know this. It's a fact. There's no way. So we're protesting. And it's been a massive protest. I mean, like you just stepped on a giant anthill. That many people are outside protesting. It's insane. But you turn on our media, you don't even know there's a protest happening anywhere. Sometimes it seems like nothing ever happens, but this seems like it could be a big deal. Background. The Brazilian people have flooded the streets in protest at an allegedly rigged and stolen election. That's what they're alleging. Truckers are blocking all highways. Farmers have blocked all ports from exporting agriculture. Bolsonaro has exhausted his legal options, with his election appeal being rejected by a corrupt opposition-appointed Chief Supreme Court Justice. Bolsonaro is now huddling with the military to plot his next moves. He's working with who? The military. What have we been waiting for in America? The military. In regards to an election? Yes, in regards to an election. There's an interesting Supreme Court case on the docket right now. Yes, there is. Trump, we're gonna have a great, great, great Christmas this year. Oh, we're gonna have a great Christmas. What is Article 142? The lying New York Times explains, many of the protesters said their demands for intervention were supported by Article 142 of the Brazilian Constitution, which says that the military has the role of guaranteeing constitutional powers under the supreme authority of the president. They go on to poo-poo it, citing experts. According to constitutional lawyers and past court rulings, the article does not allow the military to take control of the government. And more from the New York Times. Brasilia, they arrived by the tens of thousands on Wednesday, angry and draped in Brazilian flags, massing outside military bases across the country. They were there, they said, to save Brazil's democracy from a rigged election, and there was only one way to do so. The armed forces needed to take control of the government. It was an alarming demand in a country that suffered under a 2-decade military dictatorship until 1985, and yet another bizarre twist in the aftermath of Brazil's polarizing elections. A day earlier, the far-right president, Mr. Bolsonaro, reluctantly agreed to a transfer of power after 45 hours of silence following his loss to a leftist former leader, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. But after Mr. Bolsonaro's years of unfounded attacks on Brazil's election systems, his supporters appeared far from accepting defeat. The widespread protests and calls for the armed forces were an escalation of the Brazilian far-right's refusal to accept the election of Mr. da Silva, a former president whom many on the right view as a criminal because of his past corruption scandal. So, are we wrong, people on the right wrong for looking at him that way because of his past corruption scandal? Mr. Bolsonaro, in a 2-minute speech on Tuesday in which he did not acknowledge his loss, said he supported peaceful protests inspired by feelings of injustice in the electoral process. Many of his followers saw that as a stamp of approval. What he said yesterday that gave me more energy to come, said Larissa Oliveira de Silva, 22, who was sitting on a beach chair in the protest in Sao Paulo, propping up her broken foot. Got a foot problem? I feel your pain. After his comments, I saw that he is on our side. So, bottom line, you want to see the protest? They're not really showing you this on our news. You'll get a little report here and there about it, but you're not really getting much. And they're saying, again, looks like the military is on the side of the people. If Tory told us all a while back, watch Brazil, watch their elections, and watch how things go there because that is how it's going to go here. Essentially, something like that. Maybe not word for word, but that's I'm going off my memory. If the military gets involved in Brazil and sides with the guy who says he was cheated, and the people, of course, because that's who's out there protesting. Because here's the thing. If you have that many people protesting, and this guy is essentially their guy, where's all the protesters for the guy who allegedly won supporting him? Saying, no, you guys stop. We overrule you because the votes were in. As you saw, we have the majority. So since we have the majority, we're going to out-protest you guys because we have more people, as shown by the votes, the vote tallies. But there's almost none of these people. There's very few in any kind of counter-protest. There's almost nobody. It's all these other people supporting Bolsonaro. What does that tell you? Forget the words and the numbers on the screen. Instead, what does physical evidence with your eyes and ears tell you? All of these people, it's like almost the entire nation standing up in defense of this guy, Bolsonaro. Very, very few are not. So if this other guy won, fair and square, and his supporters see what's happening right now. Hey, no, this guy won fair and square. We got to stand up for him. We got to help him because they're about to overthrow this guy. We can't have that. We need to show our support because we showed him at the voting polls. Where are these people? Where are these people? Few and far in between. Again, your eyes and your ears will tell you. Your brain, looking and reading at stuff and mainstream news and CNN said this and New York Times. It's getting interesting. So goes Brazil, goes the U.S., I think is what Tori said. Watch it carefully. Watch how it's handled. Okay. And again, if you do see, in fact, military has stepped in, they're helping the good guy, what is that going to tell you about our military and our good guy in our country? And maybe what's about to happen next regarding that Supreme Court case. Take care.